Once upon a time, a woman named Chang worked for a merchant in Sichuan province. The merchant's home was high atop a hill, and Chang worked as the merchant's laundress. Every day she had to walk down the hill to collect water from the stream. When she was young, Chang made 2 pots to carry her water, and these she hung upon a pole she could carry over her shoulders. She painted one pot blue and the other red, and on each pot she painted flowers. Chang loved flowers, and she loved her pots. For some years, she carried her pole down the hillside and collected water. Afterward, she climbed the hill. She was strong and able, though she was growing older. And as time passed, the pots too grew old. One day, as Chang prepared to place the pole over her shoulders, she noticed the blue pot had a slender crack along its side. She ran a finger over the crack and sighed, "My poor little pot." For a few moments, Chang studied the crack. "Will you hold my water?" she whispered, but she decided she could still use the pot. As always, she carried both pots down the hill and filled them with water to the very brim. By the time she reached the hilltop, the pot with a crack was half empty, but this still left her plenty of water for doing the laundry. For the next 2 years, Chang carried those pots down the hillside every morning. When she reached the stream, she filled them to the brim, and afterward she walked back up the hill, balancing the pole across her shoulders. By the time she reached the house, the cracked blue pot was only half full, just enough for the laundry. Each day, Chang examined the crack, and though it was growing a little longer, she decided all was well. What she didn't notice was that the poor blue pot was miserable. Each time it drank from the stream, it secretly hoped that this day all the water would stay inside its belly. But each day when they reached the top of the hill, the pot knew it had failed. The blue pot glanced at the red pot and saw water filled to the top, and the blue pot began to feel desolate. In its resting place on the far side of Chang's little hut, the blue pot worried and wept. "I'm no good, I'm no good, I'm no good," the blue pot wailed. "Stop your whining," the red pot answered. "No one wants to hear from a pot." One day the blue pot woke and felt its crack beginning to expand. It was certain Chang would soon decide to throw it away. Soon it would be no use to anyone for anything. That morning, as Chang climbed the hill, she was startled to hear a voice she had never heard. "Chang." The voice said, "Throw me away, I'm no good for anyone or anything." Chang stopped and looked around, wondering who could be speaking to her. "Hello," she called down the hill, but the voice that answered was very near. "I'm right here," said the blue pot, swinging this way and that to get Chang's attention. "I'm your pot. The pot you made with your own 2 hands, the pot that has served you so well all these years, but I see now my time is finished. The crack in my side has made me useless. When you carry me up the hill, I spill all my water. I'm no good," the blue pot said. For a long moment, Chang stood very still, amazed that her pot had spoken. "Is that you?" she whispered, looking close. "Are you speaking, dear pot?" "It is I," the pot said. "I am so sorry I have failed you, but I have." Chang was overjoyed to know her pots were as full of life as she had always imagined, but she was sad to hear such sorrowful words. "But pot, you don't understand," she said. "You haven't been paying attention. Look around." Chang pointed to the path beside them, the path up the hill. And for the first time, the pot stopped looking inward and instead looked out. On the right side of the hill, the pot noticed beautiful flowers growing in abundance. Poppies and peonies and chrysanthemum and narcissus and citron. A ribbon of color edged the path. "And look at the other side of the hill," Chang said. The pot glanced to the other side and saw it was bare. "I've always known about your flaw," Chang said, "and so I planted seeds on your side of the path, and every day you water them and add more beauty to the world." The blue pot was overjoyed. All its sadness was gone. It understood, just as Chang always had, that every being has its unique flaws. And it is our little quirks and faults that make us and the world so interesting.